In the last episode, the guys finished the mechanical for the Murphy bed in the underground Earthbag Musart studio. It's time to purchase ceiling material. We calculate how much we need.
I need to determine the square footage of a triangle so that we can get the material to put on the ceiling. So it's not like you can just take the square footage below and assume it's the same, because you get a rise and everything grows a little bit as the roof is up. And so I have 8 triangle sections. And so I went to Google, got the calculator for calculating square footage of a triangle times 8, and boom, we're ready.
The material for the ceiling arrives.
We got some canvas here for the ceiling.
Well, not exactly canvas. 100 yards of burlap.
There it is.
We love the look of the reciprocal roof. It's got this cute little design. It's a shame to think that we might have to cover that up. So we started thinking about how could we do that where we could still be able to see the design. And well, how could we put stuff in between there and allow those boards to come through?
First we were thinking like maybe like jean. We would have had to collect like a ton of different pairs of jean, and then we would have had to cut them up and sew them all together, which would have been a lot more work than we, really wanted to do. Or we would have had to buy a lot of it. It's kind of an expensive fabric.
Jacob suggested, why don't we, get canvas? And so we looked into that, maybe like a used army surplus store.
Tent.
Yeah, the
an oversized tent.
So again, we run into the problem of needing a lot of it.
Sunshader? Is that
sunshade screen?
I don't know, it's like that netted weird green and tan stuff that you can get for like greenhouses. And
you can find burlap sacks out there, but they're like $3 a bag. So you start adding that up and that starts to accumulate quite quickly too. Our best buy was buying it online by the yard and buying burlap. So we did. We bought the big $1.30 a yard. Yeah.
One of the goals too when we're making these adobe buildings is to make something still look the way we want it to look without spending an arm and a leg.
Part of the fun of it. We've got all the insulation. We got R19 because that's the width of our ceiling. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna staple this up in between the boards so that we'll still have the boards showing. And then we'll have little sections of burlap with the insulation underneath it. So we're hoping it's gonna work.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the Murphy bed in close today. So that's some edging to do, the veneer edging. Iron's on. Goes on pretty nice. This one's done over here. Let's just sand it all up. It makes for a nice little corner edge. It gets all stained. We've now put in the style that when we fold the bed up, we'll be able to fold up right up against this. This is a little bit for clearance. Pretty much starting to wrap up, where we're going to start sanding, staining. This is about all I can do. I've got it all enclosed, and now I got to get off and go make some money for the family.
It's about 40 inches wide.
It's a nice color. I like it. It doesn't conflict with any of the other colors we have in there.
We bought hopefully way more than what we need. We started doing the walls with the red oak. And then that led to
doing all the furniture with red oak.
Yeah.
And now we got to the roof.
And I'm thinking,
we don't want to do red oak.
I'm not too crazy about the dark wood to begin with, and the more we're putting in there,
it's too much. It's too much red oak. It's everywhere.
Yeah, well, let's just go ahead and switch on the ceiling to keep it lighter.
So now we're staining just kind of the top where you see on the rafter.
And we're just doing the, nothing more than just the little top part right here.
And that we're doing that with like a golden pecan or?
Golden pecan, yes.
Yeah, we are using golden pecan. That's my job. Well, Mom and Bryson have been putting up the burlap and the insulation. I have to stay ahead of them because we want it to be stained before we put it up there.
Duct tape it with a rag, Shay, so it doesn't drip.
I do?
I couldn't reach the ceiling above the stairs, so Mom had a good idea about taping the paintbrush to a pole.
We're asked, well, gosh, who's putting the pressure? Nobody is. We just make our own goal.
Self-motivated. I have a finish line to work towards.
If we just set up the goal of finishing up the Musart studio, it would be so overwhelming. It would just be
miserable.
Yeah. So we set up small goals, which is what we did on the ceiling, and I think I got a little over ambitious on this one.
Tuesday, there and there, Wednesday, and so on all the way up to the top. Today is Wednesday, which we're supposed to be on this layer, and we're still on Tuesday. So we need to catch up.
I think the kids thought I was a little ridiculous this time when I named the rows.
Tuesday's done.
Are they going to stay on it up there? Now we're sitting at Thursday, and I don't know. Still fun to have the goals and try to achieve them, you know, but if we miss them, like in this case, there's a pretty good chance we're not going to make this one, but
There's always tomorrow.
Honey, went out there and they had built the entire comb in like a week and a half. It was full of honey, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna harvest it. Well, I guess Mom's gonna be happy.
Good job, Bryson.
It's gonna be really good.
Oh, it is so good.
Mom's wanted honey for a long time. Why do you pick under over me?
Because why wouldn't I want to go right over you, Bryson? Why wouldn't I?
Mom has this cool thing that she does, and it's that if she has a goal, she can work really hard and she can meet it. But every once in a while, her goals get a little ambitious. And if they're just barely ambitious, typically us kids are like, oh, no, Mom, no, this is where our goal is going to be.
Bryson, come here. I would like to brush your hair.
I think this is one time I'm going to deny your request.
Just lean, would you?
But if they're extremely ambitious, we're just like, okay. And then eventually Mom's like, this was a giant goal.
Open your mouth. What's kind of fun about these projects is I really enjoy the time that we come out together as a family. We spend like an hour of our day where we're just all together working side by side. On this project now, we couldn't really all be out there together as a family because we only have one staple gun.
But we picked up this air gun for the job and oh, it's so worth it. This is a good investment.
As we just took turns working in pairs, or three of us would go out at various times. It's some of the best ways to build relationships with each other, whether it's family or even friends.
Sometimes I think that when you have to work with someone, it's even more of a test to that friendship or relationship.
How are you keeping it up there?
Watch this magic.
I'm ready. Put up the cotton candy from hell.
So there's also, you just have to kind of build off each other a lot in a workspace. It can endanger someone sometimes when you're working. So you have to know where everyone's at and you have to communicate.
There's frustrating moments that you have to work out.
A lot of compromising. When it comes to ideas, it's a lot of middle ground. It's like, oh, okay, let's compromise here.
That'd be one way to learn.
Stay tuned for next time as we launch into installing the floors. You might have noticed that there wasn't a podcast Wednesday. Occasionally we'll have to cancel because we never know when Dad's new job's gonna call him away. We'll keep you updated on the Patreon page, Facebook, and Twitter. We're excited to announce Glenn will be joining us for a Wednesday podcast May 17th. He runs an awesome YouTube channel called DIY Creators. We hope that you'll join in on the discussion. If you ever miss a podcast, you can always go back and watch them because they turn into a video after it's done live streaming. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Please consider supporting us on Patreon.
Well, not exactly burlap, but canvas. Except the other way around.
I'm reminded of when we were doing the cob and you're like, you think we're gonna finish this today? And I was like, no, I think we're gonna get everything done except for this one spot in the middle. And you're like, wow.
Our family moved from the city to the country. Thanks for taking part in our adventure. We have new videos every Friday evening. If you would like to help us out, you can like this video, share it, subscribe, or support us on Patreon. See the links in the description.
Maybe. But blue jean is so... You put weird things on the stairs and you fall down.
Yeah, I
Fall down, go boom.